So let's start our GIC Talk. Thank you for coming to today's GIC Talk, and my name is Gwangju Park, today's GIC Talk host. I'm so glad to be here as a host for my first time in GIC Talk. Before we get started, please put your cell phone on silent mode. Thank you. And so let me introduce you to today's GIC Talk speaker, Kate Morris. She considers herself to be a non-professional musician and songwriter, and her GIC Talk is entitled 12 Songs in 12 Months. When you first arrived, you should have received a legal paper like this one. And you're welcome to write down your questions, and which will be answered by Kate at our Q&A portion of GIC Talk. And it is led by one of our English-speaking GIC Talk volunteers. If you would like a piece of paper, please raise your hand. Okay. And please welcome Kate Morris with a big applause.
First of all, thank you for coming today. I know it's Saturday and there's probably 100 other things you could be doing, but you decided to come here, so thank you. I hope you find the talk interesting, and I'll try and put on a good show for you. So, Joey approached me about doing a GIC talk at the start of the year, and first I said, oh no, because I don't really think I'm an expert at anything. I'm sort of a jack of all trades. I'm pretty good at some things, a number of things, but I'm not an expert at anything, in my opinion. So I thought, well, why should I be allowed to talk to a room full of people? But Joey and I are Facebook friends, and he saw me post about my project, 12 Songs in 12 Months. And actually, the fact that I am an amateur works really well for this concept. So I will talk to you today about this, my project, 12 Songs in 12 Months. Because it's a project anyone can do as long as you have the time and the motivation. Okay, so it was a New Year's resolution, and I see lots of New Year's resolutions on the internet and things like that. One of the really popular ones is 1 second videos, so you record 1 second every day for a month, but that doesn't really appeal to me. It sounds like too much time on the computer, so I don't want to do that. I wish I could tell you what triggered this idea, but I don't really have an answer for you in that respect. I've always been a little bit musical and creative, so it was kind of a natural progression, I think. It was eventually going to happen, so I decided to create this project. I have to write and record 1 original song each month, so I can't do covers, that would be cheating. It has to be original. I had to decide which instrument to play. I've played a couple of instruments in my life, but I had to decide which instrument would be the best for this project. And I had to keep a record of it as well, to keep myself accountable, to make sure I did it each month. So, first question was, what instrument do I play? So, in the past, I played the clarinet for 2 years in high school. I hated it. I really hated the clarinet. I could not get the breathing right, and actually I wanted to play the saxophone, but couldn't afford it. So I had to play the clarinet, and I hated it. So, sorry if anyone plays the clarinet. It sounds nice, I just don't like playing it. Piano, I played since I was 5 years old, and I played classical piano. I played until I was about 18, and then I didn't have a piano anymore, so I don't really play the piano very much these days. Guitar, I started when I was in high school, maybe when I was about 14 years old. Played for a couple of years, not seriously, only a few chords. The majority of what I've learned on the guitar, I taught myself in the last year or so. Oh wow, what instrument is that? That is the church organ, the church pipe organ. It's an unusual instrument to play. My family is not religious, but my piano teacher also taught the church organ. So I played the church organ for 2 years in high school as well. And actually I really love that instrument. It's really loud, it feels like you have superpowers. So yeah, I really like it. Okay, so I couldn't choose the church organ. I don't have one. It's about access. Piano, I don't have one of those. My apartment's too small, so no piano for Kate. Didn't like the clarinet. And also, you can't sing and play the clarinet, so impossible. So this is my instrument of choice, the guitar, and it worked out pretty well. It's also quiet enough that I can sing over it. Okay, next, keep a public record. So this means each time I write a song, I have to put it on the internet. Even if I think it's bad, it still has to go on the internet. So I had to make myself accountable. I had to make sure I did it each month. So I have 2 public records. One is a YouTube channel, and the other one is my website. So each time I write a song, I have to do like a mini blog post. So title, what is the song about, song words and lyrics, video. You can also download the song for each month, or you can just stream it. So everything to do with the song is on the website. So I recommend this over YouTube. Also, I got a logo. I am not artistic. My mum, my sister and my brother are very good at art. Me? No, not good at art. So I went to this website, fiverr.com, and I found a designer, and maybe only $15, they designed me this logo. And I really like it. I think it looks quite good. It reminds me of folk music, and I think my songs are mostly folk. Okay. So I'm going to talk about 8 things that I've learnt during this journey. And there are many things that I have learnt, but it is easier to talk about them in 8 points. So we'll see how it goes. Inspiration comes from unlikely places. I have written some songs which were inspired by very strange things. And my influence is Jarvis Agnelli. He did a video and a song called Birds on Wires. So we'll just show you the video and I'll talk about it in a minute. You can see here. I actually think he's kind of a genius. Every day he would wake up and look out the window and he saw birds on telephone wires and power lines. And he didn't just see birds, he saw musical notes and manuscript. And I thought that is a really amazing amazing idea that you can find patterns in nature and create something with it. So he inspired me to try and incorporate random elements into songwriting. So I might try a little experiment here. Congratulations, front row. I'm going to try and incorporate some random elements just very quickly. Please don't panic if I make eye contact with you. You're not people anymore, you're musical notes, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'll start with like an A minor bass and see if you can pick the pattern. I think I'll go this way actually. So I'll go first row and then into second. Okay. Did anyone pick the pattern there? Okay, each time the gender changed, I changed the note on the guitar. So you could use that to build a song. So that's just one idea. I was trying to be inspired by Jarvis, so kind of worked. So another idea I had, which I haven't done yet, but it is a possibility. You could, for example, sit on the street and watch the cars pass. And most cars are grey, white or black, so you could choose 3 chords and then just alternate and build a pattern. But what I'm trying to do is, because I mostly do this project by myself, I'm trying to collaborate with random elements or things that I wouldn't normally think of. So the 3 songs where I've experimented quite a lot. January's song, which is called You Won't Need Me, is inspired by a children's book called Knock Knock. And this one, these 2 people here might recognise. I belong to a book club that meets on Wednesday, and we did an activity on that was related to our book. Our book was on gang culture, and we did this activity where we had to find our gangster name. So my gangster name was not that great. So I had K and M. I was Gertrude the Governor, but my friend M, she was Lucky the Bullet, and as soon as I heard Lucky the Bullet, I thought, oh, such a good name for a song. It sounds like a Nick Cave song, so I remembered it and then wrote a song about it later. Okay. The one that is most well known amongst my friends is March's song, which is called Today is a Good Day, and as you can see, it's on a t-shirt, and that'll give you a clue about how I made the song. So I spent about 6 months collecting English that I saw on t-shirts in Korea, and I also asked my friends, so they would also send me some English as well. These are some of the phrases I found on t-shirts. I love to see your money hanging in my closet. That was a good one, I like one. I wish I could have written a song for that. Maybe later. Time of Rage. Time of Rage. It's another good one. Pardon my swag. Hello, Spring. I'm a kiss machine. This one reminds me a little bit of the American pop artist Prince. I think he would have written this song if he had seen it. Yeah. Zoological Garden. Old Pine Trees. That was an unusual one. Smile. So sweet. You are crucial. Jura, run away from murderers. I have no idea what that means. I'm not sure. But look, I had to try and find a combination that seemed like it could fit together. And it would have been really easy to write a silly song, but I wanted to make it difficult for myself and write a song that actually sounded good and sounded like a normal song. So that was a challenge. These are all words from t-shirts, and I'll play this song for you through the computer so you can hear it.
A smile so sweet, fall in love, oh to be free, dance all night and slow down to breathe among the old pine trees. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. Let's go, 'cause you are my good time. Keep on alive, come you shall keep among the old pine trees. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. Is a good day. Today is a good day.
Even my happy songs sound sad. What's going on? So, yeah, my challenge was to try and make it not sound silly and try and make it sound like a proper song. Number 2, your parents aren't always right. I'm sorry to the parents which are in the room. But nobody's right 100% of the time, so it's okay. Actually, this is inspired by something my dad said, and he won't remember he said it because it was a quick comment offhand. He didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it, but I remembered it. I don't know why, for so long. When I first started playing the guitar, I had a lot of trouble trying to play bar chords. So a bar chord is when your finger goes all the way across. So for example, that's a bar chord. But I found them really difficult when I first started playing the guitar. And I used to avoid playing songs with bar chords in them. Yeah, very limiting, very limiting. And I was having a discussion with my dad about playing the guitar and using a capo and playing bar chords. And he said, oh, you shouldn't use capos. This is a capo. You shouldn't use capos. If you use a capo, it means your fingers aren't strong enough to play bar chords. And if anybody actually plays the guitar, they know that's not true. It's not true. My dad's never played the guitar, so I don't know how he came up with this idea, but then I didn't want to use a capo. So for a long time, maybe until last year, until I saw this guy, did I change my mind. Does anyone know who he is? This is Gwangju. He's a really talented blues guitarist. I think he's one of the best guitarists alive today. And wow, he's playing with a capo. So I started to think, if Gwangju plays with a capo, then maybe I can use one too. So basically a capo is nothing to do with bar chords, it just changes the tuning. Sound. So now I use a capo, and it's really, really good because you'll see most of my songs I have the capo on the 2nd fret. This tuning suits my voice a lot better, so it's a lot more comfortable to play. Okay. The past comes back. Not to haunt you. I think a lot of the time when people think that the past comes back, it's in a bad way. I don't think so. I think sometimes it comes back to remind you of something. So this is me. It's very small. With my favourite toy. So my favourite toy was this record player, plastic record player. And I've always really loved music. And again, I created this project, so I must really like music. But it's been in my history for a long time. In high school, I played in a rock band for a very short time. And I liked it, and I also hated it, because I have really terrible stage fright. Really, really bad stage fright. And whenever we would play in a band, I would not enjoy the experience. And I was a songwriter, and I did backup harmonies. But whenever we did competitions, there were sometimes competitions, and we would always get comments about good songwriting, good harmonies. But I was kind of the unsung hero, because I was too shy to sing lead. And unless you sing lead vocals, people sometimes don't think someone else wrote the song. So, yeah, it's basically about my ego, I think. It's my ego. Because I have written the song, but because I didn't have the confidence to sing it myself, I don't think I fulfilled my full potential. So that's why I think this project came back. It gave me an opportunity to try and fulfill my potential a bit more. Because I can't hide behind anyone, it's just me, and I have to do it. So, unfinished business. That's why it came back. I had unfinished business. Okay. Alright. Oh, and I really like this quote I found on Pinterest. You never know who might love the person you hide, and I spent a lot of time hiding, and music's just one example of that. In front of a room full of people, you have nothing to lose. You learn to not really care, because nobody has any expectations. So after that, I had almost no filter. I'll write a song about anything. It's okay, no one's going to hear it. Well, unless they have the internet. Okay. Keeping records is useful. Usually I keep everything in my head, but it's not the most reliable thing. On my website, I have a tab, 12 songs in 12 months. Every month has a song and a blog post, like I mentioned earlier. It's also a good place to keep my memories of writing a song. Each song exists in a time and a place and a moment. And because I have too many songs now, I can't remember everything. So it's useful to have my website to remember what I did, when I wrote it, how I felt when I wrote the song. And also proof of talent. I'm really, really tough on myself. And I don't know if it's a New Zealand thing, but we never acknowledge when we do a good job. we think everything we do is not very good. But there are some songs I've written that I genuinely like, and sometimes I need to remind myself that I did a good job, and some of the songs I enjoy listening to. So I try to keep a record of things that I'm proud of on here as well. So triple talent. There we go. Debatable, but hopefully. I really like this one. You are your best teacher. I think if you're motivated to learn, then you're going to learn the best that you can. Teachers are really important, but you also have to be motivated as a student. Trial and error for me is the best way to learn anything. I don't read music on the guitar, I do everything by ear on the guitar, so actually there's a lot of error. I have to keep playing until I find the right notes to go together, and that can take longer for me than a professional musician, someone that can read music for the guitar, because they already know where those notes are. So it takes me a long time, but I get there. I also taught myself guitar, so I listened to a lot of YouTube videos and watched artists that I was inspired by and used them for influence. Singing. I have a confession. Almost no one heard me sing on my own until I did this project. The amount of people that had heard me sing by myself, I could count on one hand. So this took a lot of people by surprise when I started this project. They're like, oh, Kate sings? Interesting. Surprise. So I had to discover what kind of voice I had. For example, I can't do vocal acrobatics. I can't sing like Christina Aguilera. My voice doesn't do it. I also don't have a vibrato. Sometimes I can get it to waver, but I can't vibrato. I can't. But that's okay, because I have other things. I think my tone is pretty good. My tone singing is pretty good. My phrasing of my lines, I think, is a strong point. And I actually like to leave my songs a little bit untidy, because I think that is the best way to get an honest emotion. For example, if you feel really sad, if you're crying, you can't breathe properly. So I think you should try and mimic that with your singing to try and get the honest emotion. And I'm not motivated by a technical approach to singing. If you told me, expand your diaphragm with the air and, I don't know, breathe for 3 seconds, that doesn't inspire me. That doesn't make me want to learn to sing. But I found this quote. I can't remember where I read it, but I really, really like this quote. Sing like you're whispering into your lover's ear. And that is more conceptual for me. That's a better way to YouTube. I had to watch a lot of YouTube and just hours and hours of playing on my guitar and listening to the sound. Songwriting. What stories do I want to tell? Usually I just write pretty love songs, so that's a reoccurring thing. And recording. How do I get the best sound? And how do I use a GoPro? So I had to teach myself how to use all of these. This is a really good mic, by the way. It's a USB mic if anybody is looking for a good mic. And Audacity is a really easy program you can use to edit your song a little bit. GoPro I use to take a video of my song, but the only problem with the GoPro is the internal mic is not so great. The visual is good, but the internal mic is not so good. So I need to actually get another mic that I can plug into the GoPro. So that's my next project. Find a mic for my GoPro. Yeah. It's never-ending learning, always learning. Number 7. You won't get it right the first time, and if someone tells you they do, they're lying. They are lying. Actually, this goes for anything creative. If writer, or I worked in script writing when I was in New Zealand. So I don't consider I don't consider myself a writer. I'm a rewriter. So, for example, when I write a song, it's in parts. I don't write it one time sitting down. It builds, and you have to edit and listen to it. So my process, usually I spend about a week putting a song together, so verse and chorus. Then I record it and listen to my voice and adjust my voice to get the right sound, or the sound I want, anyway. Okay, how much time? Not too bad. 8, you need something creative to obsess about. Yeah. I don't think there's anything better than a creative project to really force yourself to learn new skills, and it helps your mind become more acrobatic. So, I'm there already, okay? So, I really recommend picking up something creative. It can be anything you want. Everybody's got different skill sets, and yeah. That brings me to this slide. Ooh! I'm going to play October's song, which is called In Silence. It's not on my website yet, but hopefully it will be soon. It's a love song again. I always write love songs. And it's about communication in a relationship. But you probably remember me saying that I have stage fright. So, we're going to see how this goes. And if I manage to play it without freaking out, you guys can give me a high five afterwards. Okay, so we'll see. Alright. I like the guitar at the start of this song, but probably also the hardest guitar ever.
Opens up mountain man till we have the words in place got very deep along the way. But every time you lie, you're here in my arms. The ruse is up for lovers sweet. It's ours we sleep. We don't need the same things as those before. It's your heart and your head